Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 500. 500. My God, I have no life. No, I'm just kidding. Episode 500. That's incredible. Well, I want to thank everyone who continues to listen to me talk about all DC every single day. Yeah, I'm pretty happy people actually want to listen to what I have to say. So this is a journey together, and a journey will continue on for as long as there are still making DC films. So. And if they're not doing DC films, well, there's always Godzilla. And of course, I have my Ping Pong Rangers show. But today is all about DC. And I want to go into certain things. But first, some DCEU updates or DC film updates. The first one is very simple, very basic. It's a new image from Wonder Woman 1984. And this is on the Total Film magazine. Apparently, she is holding up two thugs at the mall. So initially we saw that one picture where she's holding up one thug and she's doing the shush thing, but now she's holding still. This appears to be an actual screenshot from the movie. Nothing much there, but she does very much Wonder Woman right there. She's going to return in Wonder Woman 1984 later this year. And so pretty excited for that. That's at least one thing we can look forward to. The next thing is a report. Apparently, the Batman recruits Charlie and Max Carver in sizable roles, right? And these were two twins from a TV show. I believe it's called Teen Wolf. And apparently they're going to be a big roles in the Batman. Some scoopers and people or rumors are saying that they're going to be either Tweedledee and Tweedledum, meaning Mad Hatter is going to appear in the Batman. There's some type of murder mystery, I think. Batman has to solve it, going through different villains to get to the person or the villain that is responsible. And so I'm not surprised at all. I don't think we should even be worried about multiple villains. I mean, this is a rogues gallery. If you are a comic book fan, especially knows a little bit about Batman or interested in the Batman character and know that he has a big rogues gallery, I think it will work fine. I've never quite understood the whole thing about having too many villains, too many characters, because that happens in the comics. And maybe this is more for the general audience who maybe want to know more about the villains than, want to know more about the characters than just the hero going through different villains. But to me, I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with knowing very little about the villains as long as a lot of the attention goes to the superhero, and then we go through his journey, and depending on the story, of course. But I think if that's the story, he's going through different suspects and something like, I'm just guessing, then I don't see any problem with having too many villains, because you watch any detective story, you watch any cop show, they go through many suspects, and it's not necessarily you need every single backstory for these suspects, right? This rumor is one from Cosmic Book News, and I think even we got this had covered as well. Henry Cavill rumored back as Superman for Shazam 2. Why am I covering rumors? Well, many of you have asked me about this to check it out, either on Instagram, either on Twitter, even some on Facebook, and you want me to kind of cover and go over what my thoughts are on this. And so, first of all, this is Cosmic Book News, right? And we got this covered, or the only really two sites are covering this news, and they're not exactly 100% reliable. Granted, Cosmic Book News and We Got This Covered have got some things right, but a lot of things wrong as well. A lot of speculation, but that's okay. I think we can actually go over this and maybe pull in what could possibly be true and pull in the things that we know that could make this actually happen. So let's go just a little bit into this. Henry Cavill rumored back as Superman for Shazam 2. Now, we all know about Henry Cavill trying to become, trying to say that he still has a suit in his closet, he's still Superman, and that he would want to be, he's still Superman, and even his manager says he's still Superman, the suit's in the closet and things like that. But this rumor, it actually puts him in an actual plot device within the Shazam 2. This is what's being said. It's being claimed that Henry Cavill might be back as Superman for Shazam 2, which will pit him in an epic battle with Zachary Levi. The rumor says Henry Cavill as Superman will come under control of Mr. Mind, which we know is what Shazam's is Shazam's villain, because we saw that at the end of Shazam. Shazam's villain for Shazam 2, the only survivor of a mind-controlling race of worms from Venus, who was teased in the Shazam post-credit scene, and that Cavill will be part of a small scene in Shazam 2. Just as I have said myself, the rumor claims that Dwayne Johnson wants to use Henry Cavill, and as has been previously been reported, The Rock wants a DC shared universe. Henry Cavill is also rumored for Black Adam 2. Okay, so and then it goes on to things we kind of already know, but let's go into those little basics first, right? Okay, $7 production is the production that Dwayne Johnson is part of, and the Garcias, Hiram Garcia and Danny Garcia is a part of as well. Danny Garcia is Henry Cavill's manager, is his representative, right? And so it makes perfect sense if you think about it, that the Garcias will not only have Dwayne Johnson in the Shazam universe, but they'll undoubtedly will try to get Henry Cavill to get back in his Superman role in the Shazam universe. And we've seen Dwayne Johnson have a drink with Henry Cavill, always talking about how Black Adam's going to go against Superman. Black Adam can go head to toe with Superman, things like that, right? We hear about that already. So it makes sense when you think about it in those terms. The Garcias is Henry Cavill's manager. Dwayne Johnson is touting that he's going to take over the DC universe, at least the Shazam verse, and they're going to probably have every attempt to try to get Henry Cavill back as Superman. If it's as early as Shazam 2, I don't know. That it's a possibility that. Black Adam is starting to shoot soon, Shazam 2 right after. So there's a possibility they'll try to put him in there. There was a headless cameo in the first Shazam. So when you take those factors in, you can kind of see this happening, although they took a step further in saying it's going to be mind controlled by Mr. Mind, which also could possibly happen as well, if, in terms of mind control, and if their usage of magic perhaps, then Superman is susceptible to magic, also mind control. He has been through that. That sounds like a very comic book thing that could happen, and Shazam will have to go ahead to face him, and a good way to have Henry Cavill kind of just coming in as a smaller role, and another smaller role, and then to like Black Adam 2 or something like that, right? So when you pull in these different factors about $7 production, different factors about Garcia's, this could potentially be true. Not saying that it is true, just there is writing there to convince someone to say that this scenario could possibly happen, but it's still a rumor. So I'm just putting that out there. Those are my thoughts for Henry Cavill rumor back as Superman for Shazam 2. Would I be happy about this? I would be completely stoked about this. I think that was one of the biggest mistakes they've done for Shazam 1, not having Henry Cavill be in that suit, be with a smiling face, even have a one line, at least for Shazam. They could make that go all the way. They could make it right if they put him in Shazam 2 in a pretty decent a pretty decent scene where he's actually fighting Shazam, maybe even helping Shazam, and kind of having that mentor thing going on, which I've always wanted to see in a live action. And hopefully that could spin off to Black Adam and having them both face Black Adam and possibly like Black Adam 2 or Shazam 3, however they want to do that. But the writing's there. Everything seems to be put together, so we'll have to wait and see if they are able to accomplish having Henry Cavill room back as Superman for Shazam 2. The next thing is another rumor, right? We're talking about rumors today, guys. We got this covered saying that this is from Scott Campbell. Warner Brothers reportedly offered Zack Snyder $10 million to finish his Justice League cut. Many of you had wanted me to go over this as well. And I will do so. Now, I said it on my live chat that they've got, and just earlier, Cosmic Book News, and we got this covered, got some things right, but a lot of things wrong, right? And a lot of things that were being debunked, right? But it's interesting because they kind of put a little bit in there to make sure that you kind of believe them a little bit. And a lot of these sites and these people will tell you the same thing. They give you like one or two examples of them being right, and then that will lead you to believe on your own path, like, okay, I believe it, and then we'll believe in this story. So this is what they want to say. According to our sources, the same ones that told us a Green Lantern show was coming to HBO Max and that Kevin Conroy was playing Kingdom Come Batman in Crisis on Infinite Earths, Warner Brothers have offered Snyder $10 million to finally finish his take on Justice League. That being said, our intel comes with a caveat that the filmmaker was initially looking for between 25 and 30 million for additional photography and a huge amount of effects work, with the studio refusing to shell out that much. And if the studios manage to work something out, Zack can find a way to do it only 10 million, then the Snyder Cut Justice League would be an HBO Max exclusive, which is an incredibly business-savvy movie to generate what could potentially be millions of new subscribers and also give the fans their wish to see what was originally intended for the superhero team-up. Okay. So, they could be right, but they could be wrong, right? They were right about the Green Lantern show was coming to HBO Max and Kevin Conroy and blah, blah, blah. But they were also right about many other things as well. So you have to just read this and take it in, but not, with a grain of salt. But one thing they are, something about this, that line for additional photography is probably true, right? And Zack Snyder did show us this. He showed us the clapperboard. He showed us the scene. He showed us that it's to be determined. He showed us that they have to shoot this because if it was already shot, he wouldn't be inviting Victor Koo of Mighty Pegasus to come on set to watch him shoot that scene, right? So they have to shoot that scene, and it's not free, and it costs money. We don't know how much money it's going to cost. Only Zack Snyder and the decision makers know exactly how much that money costs, and so that would be the additional photography right there. Don't know how much it costs, but they are correct about that because it takes money to have additional photography. I don't know about the huge amount of effects work. We don't know. Like I said, only Zack and the decision makers know, and the crew members who are going to work on that know, right? So I can totally see that happening. I also very much looking at how it could be an HBO Max exclusive. This is something I believe in a while now that it's not a Warner Brothers deal anymore. Warner Brothers is not doing this. It's Warner Max. It's AT&T. It's Warner Media Group. It's the other side, right? They're there to get this. The Warner Max was created to make HBO Max exclusives, and they're utilizing resources from Warner Brothers, and they're allowed to do that. But essentially, it's not going to be a Warner Brothers title. It's going to be a Warner Max title. So that part I could totally see. So there are some things there that could make this story true other than the actual money that's needed to finish his take on Justice League, right? So there's that. The other one, Screen Rant, also wrote a similar article in terms of, but they go into a little bit more detail. Is Zack Snyder's Justice League really done if he wants to shoot more scenes? So in this one too, you can go ahead, and all these articles I'm going to put in the description below. They go into a little bit, the over 40 million and significant amount of Snyder Cut has to be completed. It's not 100% done. And they continue to say that, showing because you see incomplete VFX. He never shot certain elements like the Martian Manhunter scene, which we already know about, and so on and so forth. But they also say something that was interesting that I thought should point it out, that it says here, as has always been the case, the movie won't get released unless it gets the green light from Warner Bros. Or really AT&T if it's going to HBO Max. So even this kind of suggests that it's going to go to HBO Max as well. Estimates, according to them, estimates have been high as 40 million to finish the movie, but with HBO Max willing to open its pockets for content, paying 425 million to acquire the streaming rights, Friends and Netflix signing deal worth hundreds of millions of dollars with Adam Sandler, 40 million or more is a small price to pay for a massive superhero movie featuring Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and DC characters like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, Cyborg, and the first live-action appearance of Darkseid. So, what essentially saying, we were discussing about money, we're discussing about all of this, but truthfully enough, it may just be a very small price to pay, and for either Warner Max or Warner Brothers, to pay to get this thing done if they're willing to shell out hundreds and hundreds of $1,000,000 on these other properties that like Friends and Adam Sandler movies and things like that, right? So we have to keep positive on that. That's an optimistic thing. And for Zack Snyder to put out a clapperboard saying that he'll invite Victor Koo, Mighty Pegasus, the one who won the Zack Snyder's Justice League fan poster event. He puts it out there in the open that he will invite him to additional photography, right? And even though he says unlikely, but in a wink-wink kind of way, he's putting it out there. Would he put that out there if he wasn't sure he was going to actually do it? So I believe that he is intending to do it, or have already got the means to do it, or is being offered money to shoot additional scenes for it, and that it's going to definitely happen. And if it's definitely going to happen, then we really shouldn't worry about how much is it going to cost, right? And I think that's the thing there. I think we can be almost pretty confident this thing is coming out no matter what. And that they are probably working out the details about the money issues. But in the end, like Zack Snyder says, it doesn't matter if it's finished or not. It's only finished when he is finished it. And when he's finished it, we will get to see it. So we do know, like the factual information, he wants to shoot a cool, awesome scene with Superman, Batman, Lois, or Martian Manhunter, and that's what he's going to do. That's what his plan is, and that takes money. So we don't know exactly how much money. We don't know exactly when he's going to shoot it, but we know he will shoot it, and this movie will definitely come out sooner or later. All right, guys. Well, next I'm going to go into some of the events that are coming up. And I want you to know a little bit, kind of remind you about it, right? So the Way Back Trending Fan event is happening this March 5th. The goal is to make the hashtag the Wayback trend on March 5th, right? This is coming from SnyderCut.com. Ben Affleck's new movie, The Wayback, releases in theaters on March 6th. He released the Snyder Cut, so we should return the favor the day before The Wayback comes out. Starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, tweet your support for Ben and The Wayback, and be sure to include the hashtag Wayback in all your tweets. 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. GMT, 8:30 IST. So go ahead and do that. It's coming up in 2 days, only 2 days. We can get the Way Back trending for Ben Affleck. Thank you so much, Ben Affleck, for supporting Release the Snyder Cut movement. The next big thing is from, and I'm gonna butcher your name again, Sofian Ladjanev. He had offered to make a Zack Snyder's Justice League massive collage picture. Now, I tweeted this out, Instagram and Facebook, so to make sure you guys, oh, even I think even on Vero, to make sure you guys contribute, and so we get this massive collage picture. Take a picture of yourself wearing the Zack Snyder Justice League gear. You could be a t-shirt like I'm presented here, a hoodie, you can even put the beanie on if you want, in front of a place in your country or city. And now I've gotten an update from him that if you haven't gotten, he prefer the Zack Snyder's Justice League shirt, but if you haven't gotten it by the time this deadline is approaching, and you have the All the Gods shirt, you probably could use that as well. Send your pic to at SOOFTC or this email right here, SOUPHIAN.L, not an I, LADJENEF at gmail.com. So this is his little advertisement here. Zack Snyder's Justice League massive collage picture, and deadline is March 30th, and it's to go in front of the most emblematic or your favorite place in your country or city. I chose Diamond Head. That's Diamond Head in the background. I live on Oahu. Put my shirt on, did the shaka sign. That pretty much says I'm from Hawaii as well. So, that's what we kind of need from you guys. We've got a whole bunch in, but we need a whole lot more. Please send it to Sofian here, and make sure so that he has enough pictures to make that giant, massive collage picture of all of us, showing that we represent Zack Snyder's Justice League, releases Snyder Cut from all over the world, right? That's just a great thing to see us united on one massive collage picture. So let's please do that. Also, Mighty Pegasus. Victor Koo has done something incredibly awesome, reached out to the people, right? The people who have been putting out these Zack Snyder Justice League shirts that we've been getting from. Mighty Pegasus, thank you so much for your patience today. I would like to officially announce that the campaign is live. Campaign ends in 30 days. That's right. So Zack Snyder's Mighty Justice League, in support of the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. This picture here, and he did say that this will be more transparent. This black would actually be gone, and you can actually put this on the shirt. But in any case, he's putting this out. Zack Snyder's Mighty Justice League has raised $345 so far. Buy this shirt in many different colors, and then all these funds will go towards the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So thank you so much, Victor Koo, for lending to this cause. This is an incredible thing that you've done, in a way he's thanking Zack Snyder back for choosing his artwork, as well as also being a fan, being a Release the Snyder Cut fan. He wants to do this for Zack Snyder and his family, for Autumn, and I think this is an incredible, great event that he has put together. So go get your shirt. I'm going to put this link down in the description below as well. And also another announcement, we will have a live chat together. Victor and I are going to be doing a live chat on this channel together this Saturday. It's going to be at 6 a.m. my time, which would actually be 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so you can go ahead and look that up and which time zone that would be. But we're going to talk about Victor. We're gonna learn about him. We're gonna find out more about him, and then maybe his thought process over this incredible piece of art here. And I don't think there's enough time for me to actually get his artwork in time to show it on the channel, but I will show it on the show later on when I finally get it. It's an amazing piece of art, and if you haven't gotten it yet, it's the link to get this poster and is on his name here. I think he may have took it off. Now that I think he might have took it off. But he does have a link, and maybe when I can get it from him, I'll post it in the link in the description below. go and get that poster. It's a metal foil. It looks pretty damn awesome, and I can't wait to get mine to show you guys, right, if you haven't gotten yourself. So that is this weekend. This Saturday, I'm going to be interviewing Victor Koo. And so please come in, join us in the live chat. And after my little interview, you guys can ask him any questions that you may please. So that is it for tonight. I want to thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.